go, and it's SmackDown at 6 p.m. BST. What is going on? This is like the greatest era of my life. I thought I'd be staying up to 1 a.m., 3 a.m. tonight, but I'm not. I'll be in bed for 8 o'clock, perhaps. What a feeling. Anyway, we got a couple of pay-per-views this weekend. Let's have an introduction from somebody. Who shall we have? Got to be Shotzi.
Hello, this is Shotzi Blackheart, and welcome to Gimme A Hull Yeah! I hope everyone checking this out in Yorkshire and beyond is having a great day.
I never get tired of that mispronunciation of Yorkshire. Right, I'm going to bring in a special guest. You've seen him before. He's a Hullamaniac. He's often hanging out in the comments. And obviously, I work with him at Deserto as well, which is awesome. Here comes Taylor. And Taylor Miller, welcome back.
Woo!
How are we doing?
I'm not doing too bad, thanks. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm kind of stoked. And like fun fact, I actually didn't know this is happening at 6 p.m. today. I just assumed it was happening at 1 a.m. like it normally is. And it was only when you told me last night, I was like, wait, what? And then I checked on, what's it called? Discovery Plus, and there it was. I was like, and it was almost like Bobby Roode's theme played just in the room around me.
Yeah.
Glorious. So I don't know what we're going to do my evening tonight, Taylor. I might actually play some video games. Imagine that, considering what my day job is. But yeah, so are we actually in Saudi Arabia right now? Are we in Jeddah? We are.
We look like we're in Jeddah, yeah.
So this is a first. So it's like, I know obviously we have pay-per-views in in Jeddah all the time these days, but is this the first time they've ever run a SmackDown here before a PLE?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I think that's why the crowd's so excited, because they've got their first ever SmackDown. They've obviously got the King and Queen in the ring tournament tomorrow. Looks quite fun. We're opening with Bianca Belair as well.
Yeah,
very nice to see.
It's funny. It's weird, isn't it? Because when we do the international pay-per-views, I think they did it in. Am I right that they did it in Australia as well? We often have. We're used to them doing a go home show the night before. Either from the same venue or from a venue nearby. Like they always do it when they come to the UK these days. They didn't when they first did Clash, but now it's commonplace, like at Money in the Bank. So I just assumed this was like every other Saudi pay-per-view, and it was going to be, like business as usual.
But the night before,
yeah, honestly, and I half thought, well, that's weird. I wonder if they're just going to air a pre-tape and just air it at a different time. But no, here we are. It's 6 p.m. and Bianca Belair is dancing away to the ring. This is awesome. Let's just go to the comments. Mark, our moderator, is in. He says hi. Yeah, my bad. Should have messaged you the other day about it. It's all right, mate. It's like. You'd think the hosts would know as well, wouldn't you? But apparently not. I bet Misfit still doesn't know, I bet Misfit's going to look at his phone at some point later and be like, what do you mean the live? Like he did last time. But anyway, yeah, so Mark says we're in Saudi tonight and tomorrow. Okay, cool. First ever SmackDown in Saudi Arabia. So, right, okay, yeah, so this is quite a first. I'm excited. So, as well, we've got a stacked wrestling weekend this weekend, Taylor. We've got obviously King and Queen of the Ring, and then Double or Nothing the night after. The wrestling gods are good. Have you got any plans this weekend, or are you going to watch them both, or what are you thinking?
It's my niece's birthday tomorrow, so it might be a bit difficult to watch it, but we can catch up, right?
Yeah,
Saudi time's not too bad. Thankfully, it'll be 6 o'clock. I think, is it a 6 or 7 o'clock start? I think it's the same as SmackDown, right?
I think it's 6 p.m. tomorrow. I could be wrong. Or is it 8 p.m. tomorrow? I need to look. You think I'd know, wouldn't you? But
hopefully it's not too far. But yeah, other than that, nothing else. What about yourself?
Yeah, well, first of all, Mark is saying, so Misfit does know, so I can't poke fun at Misfit. He's more organised than I am. So 6 o'clock tomorrow, Mark says. Well, that's cool. So, I'll tell you my plans. Tomorrow night, I'm going to get a crate of beer. I resisted. I had one around my in-laws for dinner, but I resisted. I was going to have a few of them now on screen, but I thought just go chill out tonight and go a bit crazy. Tomorrow night, got to get some snacks, some nachos, some bits and bobs, and I'm going to have a proper day of it. Now there is an issue. I am out and about for a while at first, so I'm probably going to not watch it live. I'm probably going to watch it. Otherwise, I'd probably stream it with Dan. But I am out for a meal, so I'm gonna come back from that, then probably watch it. It'll probably be finished by then, but that's okay. I'll avoid Twitter. I'll avoid spoilers, and I'll just sit down about 9 o'clock at night and watch it with a crate of beer and some snacks. But for the next night, no, again, I'm at work Monday morning, sat right here, but at work. So I don't think I'll watch AEW live, but Monday night I'll probably go. But I'll watch it. I'll have a nice sober pay-per-view watch on Monday night. So yeah. So right. So Nia Jax is out. Semi-finals. So the arena looks good. So is this the same place that they're going to have the pay-per-view? Because it looks a bit smaller.
It does look a little smaller, but I quite like it. I like the screen in the back. I feel like that's not too dissimilar to which pay-per-view was it that had one? I guess it could. Trying to think back. There was one that had it, which it worked quite well. So I like the fact that the graphics are on that screen rather than the barricade because it's not too distracting.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They sometimes do it, don't they? They sometimes do it if the arena itself just doesn't work for a Titantron. But I think I don't know what I think in this case it's just an aesthetic decision, isn't it? They've got a big ass LED board, so they're using it.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of Daly's Place.
Exactly that, yeah.
It reminds me of Daly's Place, where they often have. It looks pretty cool. Like I got sick of the sight of Daly's Place because of the pandemic. It's not my fault. It was just the way things are. But I'm kind of into it when I see it again now. I don't feel quite as mortified by Daly's Place. So who's winning this one? While I quickly do a banner, who's winning this one, Taylor?
I think it's going to be Bianca, and it's going to end up. Reason being, because of the Jade Cargill and Bianca storyline. It's got to hopefully end up with those two feuding sometime down the road.
Yeah.
Maybe Bianca wins Queen of the Ring, and she said, I did it, you couldn't, that kind of thing. But be interesting to see what happens down there. Or we could just get a massive upset and see Nia Jax win. At least personally, I think it'll be an upset, but who knows?
But if we're being honest with ourselves, it's highly unlikely, isn't it? Like it could happen. Like they do seem to be. Like I think there is a place in WWE for Nia Jax. I'm not a massive fan of some of her politics, particularly some of her views around medicine. But I'd say that to her face, no problem. But I shan't if I ever interview her. I'll be professional. But there's definitely a place for her in WWE because I think she has a lot of detractors, and I'm actually not one of them. I actually think Bianca Belair, Nia Jax is an attraction. It's great to have like a monster heel who can just pick you up and batter you at any time. I don't need you to be like the greatest technician in the world or like Bianca Belair or Charlotte Flair. Sometimes it's okay just to be a monster, and I actually think she looks pretty healthy at the moment. I think she looks pretty good. So again, not a fan of some of her views on medicine, etc. But I kind of like having her around. And let's just do a poll before Hassan comes in and tells me off.
I did like that slow motion before we cut to the break. That was brilliant.
Yeah. So who wins? Nia Jax. Ooh, YouTube, you've changed it all. Oh. Did you hear that then? I had my YouTube live and it replayed what we had just said. Right, start poll. There we go. I've paused us both, not looking very flattering on YouTube. You're taking a swig and I'm sticking my tongue out. There we go. Right. That's funny. Now, comments.
So apparently the King and Queen of the Ring tournament is the Jeddah Superdome. Is this the Jeddah Superdome?
I don't think it is. Because I think the Jeddah Superdome is a bigger thing than this. Mark might know. If it is, then maybe I'm just misremembering.
I feel like feel like it's like bigger and open more.
Yeah, well, I think
it's got the big LED posts, right? Is that the place that I'm thinking of?
Well, this I think is an arena somewhere where I think the Jeddah Superdome is a big ass stadium. If I'm not mistaken, Taylor, just bear with me a minute. I'm just going to take off my hat and things, because I'm boiling in here. All of a sudden, I was freezing 20 minutes ago, but now I'm sweltering. So I'm going to take this off and show off my fancy WrestleSphere t-shirt. I'll be one moment.
Let's do it. But yeah, Mark, if you know, that would be great, because I honestly don't. I know we're obviously in Jeddah, but I don't think we're in the Superdome. I'm quickly trying to do a little Google search.
Oh, that's better. That's much better.
That was very quick, to be fair.
I was sweltering. I was dying. But yeah, and also big up WrestleSphere. There's the t-shirt.
WrestleSphere,
Even on the back as well. Yeah, looking good. Right, there you go.
Apparently, WWE is presenting WWE SmackDown at the Jeddah Superdome on Friday. So,
oh right, well there you go. It colour me surprised, and I stand corrected. So there you go. Mark is saying, sorry, check WWE's YouTube channel. Show starts at 5, not 6. Pre-show is at 4. That's crazy. Oh, I've got no chance of watching it live then, none at all. But I'll watch it when I'm back. So that's all good, Mark. I'll just avoid. I think Dan is covering it on the podcast. I joined him for the one in France, but I might struggle tomorrow. So I'll have to watch it back. And bloody hell, that looks like a very, very tiny crown that you've got there now. Isn't that one of those things that you put napkins in? Do you know what I mean? Like, does everyone else's mum do that? Like, is it just mine? She has these like little things that napkins go in, and I don't even think I own napkins. So there you go. So I'm showing you a little bit about my upbringing there, but whatever. So tonight, main event. Am I right in thinking tonight's main event is Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton? Taylor, who's winning that?
I actually don't know. It's quite a difficult one, because are Bloodline going to get involved and swing it in Tama Tonga's favor, or is Randy just going to do Randy things and get us Gunther versus Randy?
Yeah, well, it's a weird one, isn't it? Because when I first saw heck, who's this? We have in one of my colleagues. I don't know who it is. It's either Dominus. It's Dom. It is Dom. I thought it might be Anthony or Dan, but no, it's Dom. Dom, come on if you want, mate. Honestly, more the merrier. It's 6 o'clock on a Friday night. I know you're not doing anything. I know you're just sat there stroking the dog, thinking, "Oh, what shall I do tonight? Shall I watch a movie? Emma, do you want to watch a movie?" I know that's what you're doing right now. So, or you're going to go out and do some band practice. It's one of those two things. So, you can come on. I'm about to go back to work. Oh, yeah, that's the third thing you're likely doing. So, yeah, I know the feeling. I know the bloody feeling. Oh, have you got? Oh, right. Okay, fair enough. I'll let you off then. We don't want to have a situation or anything. But yeah, there we go. So Randy wins and fed to the ring general Gunther. See, I think Mark's got a point there. And Mark, we'll come back to your comment about SummerSlam in a minute. Because, see, when I saw the bracket kind of sort itself out and arrange itself a certain way, I thought to myself, right, are they going to do Jey Uso Tama Tonga in the final? Because then we've got some old school bloodline versus like a guy who's just not involved in the bloodline versus new school bloodline. I thought, now that is defo setting up a cool story for later down the line. But since Jay lost and Gunther went through, now I'm thinking it has to be Gunther versus Randy, because that's a big main event. You know what I mean? That's a big marquee match. I don't know if we've seen it before. It could lead to a new feud. And obviously, Gunther has to win that, because Gunther losing the IC Championship was controversial at WrestleMania to some people, where you do need something big for him to go and do. And him being king of the ring and lording it over a babyface Randy Orton is exactly that. So that's my prediction. Although I am fascinated by this Tama Tonga Jey Uso thing.
Yeah, it's unpredictable, isn't it? You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to get involved. For example, I don't know. There could be Jacob Fatu debut. Just imagine, just randomly, it could happen. You never know.
I'd forgotten about that because, like, obviously we saw Tangaloa or Tongaloa, we're supposed to be saying now, is it Tongaloa, turn up at the last pay-per-view, and that not a huge amount has happened since that. He's just kind of glowered at people. That's all he needs to do, to be fair. That's fine. But because they delayed Jacob Fatu's arrival, didn't they? Because they didn't want him to kind of Samoan Werewolf and outshine Solo Sikoa. But I'm not so sure I agreed that would happen, because if they did, Fatu could be this wild, could do his Samoan Werewolf gimmick. Solo Sikoa is a very different character. Solo Sikoa is quiet and brooding, and has always been watching. Like, yes, he's been the muscle all along, but him being the muscle meant they didn't anticipate he's got a brain, and now he's using that. So I've always felt that's the story. Like, Solo Sikoa can still be the big guy, but Jacob Fatu can just be his attack dog, his attack werewolf, if you like.
Oh my god! Sorry, Sam. Nia Jax has just defeated Bianca Belair.
Oh, you were right. Blimey! Wow!
I did not expect that.
Me neither.
So what's that make? It makes Nia Jax against. Let me just make sure I'm saying this right.
Oh.
Yeah, we've got Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyria, and I'm assuming because she's in the crowd, we're going to see a face-off.
Oh, so they might say, Mark makes a good point. That might mean Valkyria is winning it. That's a good, Queen Lyra. That kind of works. But she's a bit of a Game of Thrones-esque character, so that could work. I do wish, though, they dropped the silly king and queen gimmick a little bit. Like, yes, you've won King of the Ring. Doesn't mean you need to dress up and behave like an idiot. Like, I suppose that Xavier Woods did it like kind of sarcastically, so that was all right. But the Baron and Booker T, no one will ever match Booker T. That was great. But the King Corbin stuff, the King Nakamura stuff, that was all a bit silly. Oh, here's Lyra. Oh, she's not happy.
Are they saying that Bianca's injured? Because if so, what's going to happen to her tag team championship?
Yeah, I think she's just selling. She might just be selling. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I'm scared they're going to turn it into a storyline.
If they do, the whole it's like you say with the whole Jade Cargill thing. And I tell you what, because this looks like they're really pushing Nia, and getting a clean win over Bianca Belair is a big deal for anyone. But if Lyra Valkyria, who, let's not forget, she's the one who took the championship off Becky Lynch in NXT. So if she wins Queen of the Ring, that's putting her on a path to superstardom. So that's pretty good, and which is interesting because me and Andy Sports are talking about this. We always found her a bit of a lackluster champion in NXT. So maybe she'll. That's just us. No, no one else necessarily believes that, but it'd be interesting to see if she can fare a bit better than that then on the main roster, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's quite a clean match. That's awkward. They've just shown a graphic saying Valkyria versus Belair or Jax. We know the result of that one, but I'm trying to think about. That's what it was. I'm hoping it's quite a clean match tomorrow, because, like you say, we yet to kind of see Nia Jax too monstery, I feel. So it'd be good to see her in that avenue, I think.
Well, she's now, like against Lyra. Like, Lyra's absolutely now
she's got to throw her around the ring, surely. And
she's the plucky baby face.
Yeah.
Oh, first yawn. It's not even 1 a.m. It's only 6:20 and I'm already yawning. I'm that tired from work today. They're flipping mental. I was writing so many like opeds and stuff today. Crazy. But yeah. Go and check that out, by the way, if you're a Diablo fan, ladies and gentlemen. Go and have a little look at this. So have a little look at the Diablo oped I've just put out. It's going to annoy a few people. It is going to be controversial. but oh well.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's gonna annoy some purists, but it's well argued. But anyway, so yeah, so from Mark saying, from what I've seen, the winners are getting title matches. So maybe Cody or Priest will face Gunther, and Valkyria versus Becky or Liv. Oh yeah, see that makes sense. That's what King of the Ring, like King of the Ring, should mean. That King of the Ring should mean you get a choice, like not necessarily at WrestleMania, like Elimination Chamber and stuff give you, but it should mean you get a title shot at the next pay-per-view. That is what it should mean.
I think I read somewhere it's part of your respective brand. So obviously, if Gunther wins, would he face Priest?
Yeah, it looks like. Although it does seem to me that they're building to Clash at the Castle being
Yeah, that's what I was considering.
Priest Drew. So, because that story has still got legs, they shouldn't end that anytime soon. Because obviously, Priest screwing over Drew at WrestleMania was one of the highlights of the weekend. So, or Drew screwed Drew perhaps as well.
Yeah, because surely they're not going to reignite some kind of bloodline story with Cody and have, say, if Tama Tonga beats Randy tonight and have Tama Tonga beat Gunther.
Well, you see, now I'm planning to write a feature for WrestleSphere about this, but I'm of the view, and this is super, like not everyone's going to like this, but I'm of the view that they do need to do a Cody Roman 3, and I'll explain. See, we've had, I know I've said this before on stream, but I think we had the first match, which was Avengers Infinity War. The bad guy won. You know, the bad guy and their cronies won. They gave the heroes the ultimate defeat. And then it took a whole year, or at least at real time, for the next one to come around, the second chapter. And in the second chapter, the good guys finally overcame the villain. They got rid of Thanos. And now, but what was interesting about that, that was Avengers Endgame. That was the battle for Earth, where everybody came out of the woodwork. The entire Marvel universe came out to fight Thanos, not just the Avengers. You know, he had pissed off everyone. And something similar happened in that match. It was a great big schmoz where everybody got involved. Now, in the comics, there's another reckoning with Thanos, which is a little bit more personal. And that is when Thanos is almost a changed character. And now he does go evil again later because it's Marvel, but this was more of a one-on-one encounter with the Avengers, and it was a little bit more personal and fairer. And it was all about him proving to himself if he really is what he's always thought he is, or has he been wrong? And see, I think Cody Roman 3 needs to be that. I think Roman needs to come back and surprise everybody by shocking everybody by saying, I'm not interested in the bloodline. I'm not interested in what Solo's doing. Not interested in The Rock. Not interested in any of this. All I care about, Cody Roman. We've had interference because of me. We had WrestleMania 39. We had WrestleMania 40. SummerSlam. Let's do it in a cage. No interference. Who's the better man? You and me. Definitive. I want a rematch.
I would agree that we need a Cody Roman 3 as long as it doesn't happen at WrestleMania.
Agreed. Yeah, because it needs to have been moved on with by then. So I think SummerSlam, the time is right. But I do reckon after his finish, I think Cody needs to beat Roman clean. No Undertaker, no Cena, no Bloodline, no nothing. Just Cody wins clean. And after the match, Roman does the unthinkable. He raises Cody's arm, gets the microphone and says, Cody Rhodes, I acknowledge you. And then leaves. And turns babyface in that moment, or at least begins the path to redemption when he's walking up the ramp.
Oh, QR code.
I think we'll talk about Uncle Howdy. Oh, we'll talk. But I think at the end of this, when he's walking up the ramp, the bloodline come out and they annihilate him. No one comes to Roman's aid apart from Cody. Nobody else comes to Roman's aid. Solo Sikoa and the Bloodline, or a pack of hyenas. Then you can have a little bit of a Roman and Cody versus the Bloodline, and then you can start the story of transitioning Roman away from the Cody away from the Bloodline, and doing the whole Bloodline civil war thing, including Roman, including whoever else. So that is what I think they need to do. Whether or not they will, if anyone agrees or disagrees, do let me know. But that's just me doing a little bit of long-term booking, and I think that right now, for me, Cody feels a little bit like the disputed champ rather than the undisputed champ, only because WrestleMania was a big smoz. And I think the only reason Cody won is because Roman could not get over his anger, his resentment over Seth Rollins. Like Seth Rollins coming out to that Shield music, dressed the way he was, coming through the crowd, was deliberately designed to antagonize Roman and throw him off his game, which is exactly what it did. He did. Roman could not resist striking at Seth instead of Cody, and that cost him. And I think that needs to tie into a story as well. I think that needs to be relevant because it was brilliant storytelling. Anyway, I've talked enough. Do you have anything to add to my big soliloquy there, Taylor?
I would definitely be intrigued to see it happen. Like I said, as long as it's not WrestleMania, I feel like we need to see babyface reigns. We need to see it happen, and that is the ultimate like roundup of the story. And we get, I guess, a definitive winner. So it'd be quite good to see that. And like you say, I feel like he being Roman, does need to come back before we see any kind of bloodline civil war kind of storyline.
They need to connect, don't they? I think they need to finish that thing and then naturally transition into that. But I love the idea that he comes back and he's like, screw the small stuff. I'm here for me. I'm here to know, am I who I think I am? But yeah. Ooh.
But I'd be intrigued. Dom says, keep me posted on all the Howdy stuff. I'll be heading out. Sorry, not bending out. At 8:15. So I'll be, I've got a little heart emoji next to that word, and it's quite difficult to read. Heading out about 8:15, so I'll be able to do a video by 11. Yeah, we will do our thing, Dom. All the best.
Yeah, I'll be fast asleep probably by then, mate. But yeah, I don't know. I think Andy's doing one later on tonight. Like, I'll see if I don't know if he's doing it solo or if it's an open podcast, but we'll see. Let's just catch up with some of these comments because some of the guys have been patiently waiting. So Chris Lecaire's in saying Nia Jax is going to destroy Live Valkyria tomorrow, King and Queen of the Ring. I think she is, but I don't think she's going to win, mate. I'd be surprised, but I've been surprised already once tonight. I have Randy Orton winning King of the Ring. Mark saying, swear I read somewhere they can still do trades. They can always do trades. Never, ever, ever buy into the brand split. Ever. Never buy into the draft. The draft is meaningless. It reorganizes the chess piece for about 2 pieces for about 2 weeks. That's all it ever does. All right, I'm exaggerating. It reorganizes them properly, but they can always just switch them out whenever. Big Brother can change the rules whenever Big Brother wants. Randy Orton wins. Mark agrees. Yeah, we need Cody versus Roman 3. I was going to say, it's been an awesome program. Let's make it a trilogy. Let's make that a definitive trilogy with 3 very different match types. We need Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. Oh, I don't know about that. Babyface versus babyface. You'd have to turn one of them. I don't know. I think they're busy doing other things. Like, we could get there, but let's be honest, it would be like a legacy. So it's got history with the legacy stable. But I think at this moment in time, they're on the same page. Like, I think Randy got beaten up a while back, and Cody was mad about it. So yeah, I don't think we're there yet. Mark says I would also add a no Heyman. Yeah, I love the idea of him abandoning everyone, just ignoring everyone, not even responding to any of them. And we obviously know.
Sorry, Sam. Maybe that's the way you do it. From like the first few weeks that we're about to see Roman return, Heyman just disappears, and Solo's like, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" And he returns with Roman and introduces him back, but then goes, "You don't need me any longer." Or Roman goes, "I don't want you any longer," kind of thing.
Yeah, I love the idea of Roman just not being interested just at all, just not seeing him, just not even seeing any of them. like backstage interviews talking to him about what's going on with the bloodline, and him being like, just what? That's not what I'm here for. I love that.
The arrival at the arena shot, so you just see Heyman waiting for him in the car, and he just walks straight past him, kind of thing. Just
Yeah,
deadpan. I've managed to get the QR code for the Uncle Howdy stuff.
Oh, sick.
This is a lot of links today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I will put it in the chat if it helps. Because I am intrigued to see what people can pull out for me.
See, I'm just responding to Mark. See, I wouldn't even in kayfabe give any acknowledgement. There's out of all words I could use to the bloodline at all. I just have the match with no interference. I don't even think you need to. I wouldn't have anybody else come on. Just let it be a one-on-one between those two guys, and then let the bloodline attack Roman after it, or Solo Sikoa after it. Maybe Roman could snub Solo at some point, or vice versa, and annoy him. So Solo sends his goons to attack him, and then eventually you can have a situation where Roman, or is attacked again, and Jimmy Uso maybe comes out to help him, or you have a situation where Jimmy and Roman are together again. And Jay is thinking, do I really want to mix back up with those two after last time? Eventually he does, and you have the bloodline civil war ready to go. But another thing that concerns me, if they've already used the bloodline civil war marketing term, they used it for Money at the Bank when it was the Usos versus Roman and Solo. So that's my worry, that they won't lean into that, because they've already kind of blown that particular load, if you like. So here we go. So Chris is saying Nia Jax winning tomorrow, King of the Queen of the Ring. I disagree. I think they're doing this to build a star in Lyra Valkyria. Otherwise, I feel like Jax would have gone over Bianca Belair at the pay-per-view. That's me personally. I think her defeating Bianca Belair at the pay-per-view it would have been a bigger deal than her defeating Lyra Valkyria. And let's just update and banners. Dan is saying, Dan, thank you very much. You can come on if you want, Dan. Again, this is an open party, so you can come on if you want. I'll sort that out now, mate. Hang on. I'll get rid of the banner.
Mark, if you're referring to the song on the QR code being in the top right, I've not managed to hear that just yet, because obviously I'm here, but I'd be intrigued to see what it sounds like. But one thing that is intriguing me about it is the page called Family, which is apparently entry 18. It says, "We are whole. We have become complete. We can't wait to show you how beautiful we have become."
Oh my God, that's amazing. Somewhere out in the wild, well, no, more than likely just somewhere in Hull, in his house, more than likely. Dom is blowing a gasket, but based on that, because that's pretty mad. Rishab is in. Hello, Rishab. Another dessert, oh boy. He says, where's the party at? Well, it's quite subdued, if I'm being honest, mate. Yeah, will be a bit more of a party atmosphere tomorrow night, but I won't be on stream. I think Dan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's you're up tomorrow night. They have bad, only because you're volunteering to, of course. Presumably, I'm only saying presumably. I don't know if I saw the thing. I don't know. QR code. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They play. Yeah. Nightbird. We can't play that here, obviously. Mark saying hi to Dan. Dan's only joking. Misfit is in. He's here. He's awake. Nia versus Bayley is the plan for SummerSlam, which is why Nia is winning. Oh, okay. See, I hope that's incorrect, because, but I kind of like the idea of them making a new star with Lyra. Otherwise, why wouldn't Bianca have gone? Like, she got over Bianca at the pay-per-view, like rather than an episode of SmackDown. That's just me. Same reason Randy is winning. Oh yeah, I think Randy's winning. Rishab says, I'm playing the new Fortnite season until the SmackDown. It's SmackDown right now, mate. I don't know if it is where you are, but where we are, it's SmackDown's been on for 35 minutes. Oh, hang on. By the way, when is the show going live? Do you mean SmackDown? It's live right now. But do you mean the pay-per-view tomorrow? Well, in UK time, I think it's 5 p.m. I could be wrong. Mark is saying it's Nightbird, but sounds awfully played. Oh, it's you, Taylor. It started 34 minutes ago, dude. Dan is saying, how epic does Logan Paul look on that thumbnail? Dan, your thumbnails never cease to amaze me. You'll notice 2 weeks ago when I did my own, I proper messed up. But yeah, there we go. Logan Paul is growing on me like a fungus. I think many a girl has said that. Yeah, that's that was a joke, of course. I'm not suggesting Logan Paul as anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm hoping this is going to work, and if it does, no.
This is why he's here.
So this is the website, which is Uncle Howdy. I'm not too sure how viewable this is on on the stream, but yeah, there's lots of different images around. It says, I saw him, and the more I tried to chase him, the more he told me he didn't exist. So who's he?
That's terrifying. Dan, I'm doing it now. I'm going to call you Hassan from now on. Right, yeah, I'm going to do it now before Dan keeps shouting at me. So, yeah, so banners. So you vamp, Taylor. You talk us through this Uncle Howdy stuff while I do the house.
Why not? Let's have a look. So that's page 1 of the journal, apparently. I'm going to find you and you will tell me your secrets. That's definitely not scary. When I saw him, time and energy. No, that can't be energy. Time and something stopped, but I never really something him.
Why do all these psychopaths have such bad handwriting?
It's like the Doctor, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was thankful he'd let me see him because he is. It doesn't help that it's not the right way round.
Yeah.
But let's have a. That's where he lives. You'll never see him or get to him.
That's terrifying.
He saw the parts of me that I tried to hide, and that's okay because he had them. Okay, this is just weird.
Well, that's what we're here for.
Oh,
the weirdness.
I think he's right in this, is what it says. So the weird character is the journal.
What?
Journaler. Yeah. Now I wonder if he is me or if that's what he wants me to think.
It's getting like surely at this point though now, it's getting to the point where they've got to do something. Like the QR codes are interesting and everything, but surely we're now at the point where we need to see something. Like they're finally acknowledging it on TV, which is good. Past couple of weeks, they they actually, we'll mention it here. Obviously, when we had the sad passing, we got the news about Jodie Gilly. The first time the commentators acknowledged the Uncle Howdy stuff on screen was, I believe, was in the tribute WWE did to her. So that was quite nice. Still an amazing gesture, and we're all, we're all kind of, reeling a little bit from that, I suppose, aren't we still?
Yeah.
So let me just quickly go up to the comments because I've missed a couple. Misfit says, an open door is welcome, and that makes a stranger into a friend. Open door, very Bray Wyatt, very Uncle Howdy story. And Rishabh saying, something my network provider ain't screening it. Oh, that sucks, man. I'm sure there are other sources, though, Rashad, that you can. I'm not recommending any, but who knows? They might exist somewhere on the World Wide Web. That's Dan telling me off. Looks like Mike Rome is doing tonight and tomorrow. Coolio. There's Hassan with his new weight belt. This is some 90s cult website. Cool. It's 100% Bo.
Yeah, there was the smile yesterday, wasn't there? And that a lot of people are leaked back to Bo. So I'm hoping it is. It'd be nice to see how he carries it on. This feels like Nikki Cross's handwriting because it was terrible. Sure. The ending page of Entry 21 is they are talking about us now. We finally got their attention. Let us savor this and we will show you the signs and wonders.
Right, so that's the Wyatt Six saying, right, they're talking about us now. They're referring to the commentators there, surely. And that's them basically saying, right, we've got their attention. They know. So I think I don't want to necessarily see this whole thing tomorrow night, but it would be nice for it to advance in the story somewhat. I don't necessarily think we need to see them, but even if we got
something other than QR codes,
yeah, let's now have something appear on the screen, some kind of creepy video where maybe they, are in the shadows talking, threatening, or whatever it is they're gonna do when they get here, because we're all assuming they're going to be villains, but they might not be. Well, they probably are. But it's just like that. I think they want this to be Uncle Howdy, the Fiend, and the Wyatt family all rolled into one, don't they? Which I am fine with. But we don't know what they're going to be, because let's be honest, these guys are all heavily affiliated with Brody Lee and Bray Wyatt, and there's a lot of love there from the wrestling community. So, I mean, imagine making Bo Dallas a heel right now. That you're going to struggle. So, do they do a story where they're not heels or baby faces, but they are perhaps just a force that exists? A little bit like, say, someone like Sami Callihan or PCO, or I'm trying to think of, or Abyss, Kane, in The Undertaker, where yes, they're all perfectly capable of being heels, they're all perfectly capable of being baby faces, but they're also sometimes something in between, where you know what I mean, where they can still be dark, but they don't necessarily need to be in either box. Just a thought. Just a thought. There. I don't know. We'll see.
Speaking of heels, Dan wants to know how we feel about Carmelo being a heel.
Well, it's weird though, that Dan, because it's like, because he's been a heel for a while. Obviously, he turned heel an NXT pay-per-view some time ago. So I feel I've kind of got used to it now because of the whole Trick Williams feud. So I think anyone who's been watching NXT and even like is used to Carmelo as a heel, and seeing him as a heel on the main roster is a good idea, because otherwise he's not going to have any edge as a babyface. I think we do need to see what made Carmelo Hayes great as a babyface after WrestleMania 39 was we had just seen him as a heel and he became champion and became decent again, but then he got jealous of Trick Willie and then turned heel again. So yeah, I think him as a heel on the main roster is the right call. Until we're ready to cheer him. Don't know about you, Taylor. Have you got any views on that?
I definitely agree that he should be heel. I think that's when he does his best kind of work. He's got the kind of hateable character, which I think he portrays very well. Although the crowd's behind him, and that could essentially just make him a babyface, but much prefer him as a heel. Like you say, that Trick Williams feud, which you've seen recently, presented him perfectly, and that was the perfect way to transition him into the main roster for me. Especially considering, like I say, I feel that that's the work that he does best. Just happy for it.
See, because I'm a little bit like, because I'm still mad at him over the Trick Williams thing, and part of me feels like I don't know if that's done. I suppose it is because they're on different brands, but I feel like that's something they could dig up again in the past. Like Ciampa and Gargano are obviously mates again now, but they could one day lean into that again. Will they never do it as good as they did it in NXT? I don't think, which is partly why I think they should never do it. But yeah, with Carmelo, I'm still almost mad at him over all that stuff. I don't feel like he's had his comeuppance yet. I think when they turn him face, there needs to be a reason. There needs to be a motivating factor, like we're about to get with Roman Reigns. There's probably going to be a good motivating factor. He might be back to destroy something awful that he created. It's his responsibility to do that. Carmelo Hayes, I don't know, needs to give me a reason to cheer him other than being good. Because right now he comes across like a cocky little prick, and I want to see him get beaten up. Simple as that. Misfit saying, the QR code pretty much confirms the White Six will not debut tomorrow. Yeah, I do think and hope we get some kind of because I actually don't think an act like that makes sense to debut in Saudi Arabia for a variety of reasons. I won't go into all of them, but I just don't think it culturally works. However, nothing wrong with something creepy on the screen or something like that. Nothing wrong with some kind of tease. But yeah, for an actual debut, I don't know if even Clash at the Castle might be not big enough. Maybe it's got to be SummerSlam. What do you think? What are you thinking?
I feel like it could be good if we see like the LED board glitch, and maybe we see like a hello flash up in the ring sign behind the LED board behind that we've just seen. For example, the one where it's got the SmackDown branding at the moment, that just says hello in like Wyatt scratchy font, and it's like just randomly appears throughout the night, or it says hello, let me in, just throughout the night randomly, and it just builds up. I feel like that could be something that could be quite good. And I know a lot of us want to see it tomorrow because we're intrigued to see what's going to happen and what the actual storyline is going to contain and who it's going to contain. We all know the rumored names, but WWE are known for swerves. Could be absolutely anything that happens. But especially with SummerSlam being 2 nights now, it's something which is going to be interesting.
It's not this SummerSlam, I don't think. I don't even think it's next SummerSlam. I think it's the one after.
I think it's 2026, right?
Yeah. So I think we've got a while before we get to the 2-night SummerSlams.
I'll take that back then.
But yeah, I like for me, I think it kind of makes sense to be Clash at the Castle because there's already some spooky vibes there, and my only fear is I think the UK crowd will pop for it, but the UK crowd are usually a little bit unforgiving and kayfabe breaking. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know if the American crowd will be.
And that's like another thing that I think needs at the moment. The kind of Uncle Howdy stuff has been, let's look at the Twitch, let's look at the WhatsApp, let's look at the QR codes. Other than the QR codes that's been on TV and the odd commentator mentioned, there's nothing really been like too TV wise. So maybe we do need like the odd segment where it's like Uncle Howdy takes over the TV set, like I say. So then it becomes more known to the casual viewer rather than the diehard fan.
So we've got right now. So they are all scared. Yeah, potentially. LA Knight. Yeah, Dan saying the Saudi crowd will pop now for the legends, but I don't think they'd appreciate the debut of the White Six like the US crowd would. I agree. It's really weird, like because I know I've just done it twice, but when we generalize with the crowds, but I know what you mean. Misfit saying you got to put the word reportedly in front of that, Misfit. That they are planned to debut at Clash at the Castle. Reportedly, they are planned to, but I think that makes the most sense. Personally, I think SummerSlam would be good because it's a bigger stage, but by then they might have a match for them to be in, so it might make sense. So it probably makes sense for them to debut before that, and then they can build up to doing something at SummerSlam. But yeah, when sharing the stuff from Sean Ross Sapp and elsewhere, Misfit, remember for some people it's spoilers and they might not want it. They want to speculate, but they might not necessarily want the spoiler. And we also have to remember to say reportedly, because sometimes even our boy Sean is wrong and has been swerved in the past, which he's the first to admit. And 2026, yeah, Mark's saying that's for the for the 2-night one. So I am really excited for that. But will it take a bit of the shine away from WrestleMania? I don't know.
It all depends on how many matches that I think they could actually get out. I guess that's maybe if they. I'm trying to think, because by then we would have been on Netflix for what, a while. So maybe because of that, they're able to build a lot more matches because of the fact that they've got more time and they're able to do more things. Who knows?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I feel like we went 2 nights of WrestleMania because of a pandemic. But other than money, is there any other reason to go 2 nights of SummerSlam?
Well, I don't know. Like for me, I was like, oh man. But I kind of like when Wrestle Kingdom did it, and then WrestleMania did it. I was like, you know what? I like this. Matches are more time to breathe. They can have, and when you go and you're there in person, it's great because you have like a 2-night sesh, which is wicked. We were a little bit fatigued by WrestleMania Raw. I'm not going to lie, we really were. But my God, it's like 2-night Mania is great. So yeah, we're singing an advert for it actually right now. As long as they do it with. I think SummerSlam and WrestleMania, I think any more than that, and they'd be pushing it, I think, because they do want to push SummerSlam as like the second Mania, don't they? So I'm all right with that. That's always been the case. So I don't, I know less can sometimes be more, but I think it's worked with Wrestle Kingdom. I think it's worked with WrestleMania. So I think it'll work with SummerSlam. Let me just catch some of these comments from some of the guys. Misfit is saying, yeah, American crowds have been popping for the Nightbird stuff during the commercials. Yeah, I do. Yeah, the American crowd, I reckon, would again, I would be a bit with the best crowd to do it. I get they are more than likely going to do it at Clash at the Castle, and that's what the reports are saying. But my worry is, even though we are an enthusiastic fan base here in the UK and we do love WWE, we have a tendency to not play along and to shit on things if they're not to our liking. You know, we're a very different crowd to the American audience. We're a bit more sarcastic, a bit more cutting. We swear a lot. You know, we're just rude, is what we are. We're just uncouth. You know, we're the football hooligan nation, aren't we? And my God, that's why Vince McMahon used to hate doing UK crowds, because the crowds wouldn't do what he wanted them to. So they did it more. Rishab is saying, should we all go to Vegas Mania next year? Rishab, we might have to talk about that later, because me and the boys are having tentative talks about that. Obviously, just as fans, of course. We're thinking, do we do it? Because me, Andy, and Dom have kind of like the idea of going to Vegas. I don't know what Dan and Anthony think about it yet, but the provisional conversations are happening. So I'll let you know more when I know more. Not that
Sorry, I've just seen Dan's comment.
Hang on, I'll get to it. Mark saying, could they be after Cody and before any? I'm saying Cody, not the title. On Raw, fans are singing "He's got the whole world in his hands" and chanting "Uncle Howdy." Oh, I'm glad they're excited. I'm glad it's a lot of people are open to the Uncle Howdy stuff. So you kill a faction, you keep them from the title picture for a long time. Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, ultimately, every faction in wrestling needs to want to win the titles. I always explained away Bray Wyatt's behavior as he's playing mind games on his opponents to be the champion, to get to a point where he can surpass them in the sport. He's a wrestler first and foremost. That's how I always interpret it. You know, he might have some mental health problems and turn into the Fiend now and then, but that's awesome. That's why wrestling is great. We can do that silly stuff. Rishab saying, I was planning to go get the WWE belt from my winnings at the Deserto quiz last night. Oh, congratulations, by the way. Unfortunately, I had to settle for a PSN card. 2K24, here I come. I know, mate. We tried sorting you out with that one, didn't we? But I know it didn't come off. Daniel Wiley's in. Sorry, Taylor. We'll just get through these comments.
No problem at all.
Didn't know you were live now, mate. When SmackDown's live, we're live, unless we're not, and I'm in bed. But with it being a nice, reasonable time tonight, I thought, why the hell not? And how is my favourite person on Gimme A Hull Yeah? I don't believe you. You say that to Dan and Anthony and Dom and Andy when they're on as well, young man. I know your game. But thank you for saying that. My ego feels great. I'm all right. I'm just stoked that I get to go to bed at a reasonable time tonight. Woo! Okay, let's get through some of these. God, you guys are moving fast now. What if he loses it? Tap picture goes out the window. I don't know what Mark and Misfit are talking about. I've lost the train. SummerSlam being a 2-night 2026 is only happening to make up for Minneapolis not getting WrestleMania. Yeah, that's defo got to be part of it, hasn't it? It's definitely got to be part of it. But are they going to go back to a one-night SummerSlam after that? I bet they don't. I bet my car they don't. I say that a lot. I'm going to have to start doing it at some point. Besides, it would make more sense if all the champions defended their damn belts. Cough, Logan Paul, cough. But that's part of the story, isn't it? The fact that he's a chicken shit is part of the story, you know? I don't know. Here we go. We've got into Dan warfare. Daniel Wiley, you're such a traitor. We are going to the football hooligans because the Euros isn't on next month. Again, we're going to, all the scrotes are going to be out in force, WWE. Do take care, including me. Nah, Dan, I love you. They did play Nightbird in Saudi.
Interesting.
Oh, well, so Cody's here with his big shiny belt. Are we going to see a Roman? Oh, here's Logan's here. Being a gobshite. Bit Minecraft-esque, isn't it? That jacket he's wearing.
Yeah, very much so. I bet it's expensive as well.
Yeah.
What happens if Logan wins tomorrow? Just what happens?
I cancel my WWE Network subscription. I don't know. Look, I don't think that's happening. I'd be amazed.
We've just seen Nia beat Bianca, though.
See, I don't know if that's the same level.
I'm trying to consider it now.
Well, we should consider it. That's what makes it fun. But I think Cody's holding that for a while longer. There's a lot of storyline.
I hope so.
Tell. Like it'd really punk him out if they took it off him now, and it'd punk out Roman Reigns as well. It would really bury both of them. Like they want people get mad when I make these comparisons because they're making them too directly and they're taking them too literally. But they want Cody to be the next guy. Dare I say the next Cena, the next Daniel Bryan. They want him to be the next generational babyface. That doesn't mean he can necessarily be on the same level as some of those guys. And all I'm saying is, because people get really mad when you say that, but that's what they're aiming for. They're not necessarily aiming as high, but they want Cody to be the guy. I said it before WrestleMania, predicted he won, and he did with the rest of the world. But yeah, so I think Cody's retaining.
I hope so, but
I don't know. I think WWE storyline is relatively easy to predict at the moment. Like, because even if Nia Jax does win the thing and go on to do is that going to be earth shattering? Is that going to be something we remember in a year's time? I don't think it is. Logan beating Cody at Saudi Arabia would be. So that's just me. So hang on. Danny's saying, but Sam is your favourite. I'm going to put you in a timeout on Raw. Nah, you're all my favourite. Very diplomatic, Daniel. Very diplomatic. Oh, yeah, I'm going to need to get them predictions up. Oh, God, yeah. Oh, we haven't done it this time, have we? What do we do? Have I still got a banner up? Or has somebody taken it off? Oh, it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. These two are cutting a pretty long-winded promo, but that's okay. Everyone like the stream. Listen to Daniel. The man knows. No, it's Nick Aldis is not making him defend it. Yeah. if Logan Paul wins tomorrow, wrestling dies. I won't go that far, but it's certainly gonna stunt a lot of things, isn't it? WWE's already planting seeds for Randy winning King of the Ring and facing Cody at SummerSlam. So that is indeed the plan, is it? Interesting. See, because I was kind of hoping for I was kind of hoping for Roman 3, but maybe that might. I don't think that'll happen at Mania, but it's got to happen at some point, surely.
What in the world is going on at this moment in time? Is this because?
Oh, Daniel Hargreaves is texting me. I'll get the predictions. Oh, right, yeah. So we are doing a predictions thing, guys, and if I'm on the wrestling royalty thing in a little while, I'll plug that there. I don't know what's going on with that yet, though.
Is this happening because of the fact that Logan gave his knuckle duster to Michael Cole? I'm guessing so.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm still mesmerized by his Minecraft.
Yeah, it looks like we found another one, and so we have.
Rishab is saying whenever weekly WWE airs in India, it's always at 5:30 a.m. Same time my wife wakes up for work. She hates me for waking her up. See, that's why you always know what's happened at work, and I'm like, dude, spoilers. Rishab. That's because Rishab will go, oh my god, I can't believe flipping Braun Strowman flattened the Undertaker last night, and I'm like, dude, I haven't seen it yet. Misfit saying you have been banned for even suggesting Logan is winning. Sam, you're going to break it down for me, man. How to make my wife understand WWE fandom. You grind them down over many years, Rishab. No, I'm joking. I'll tell you honestly. I didn't hide, but I didn't really advertise my wrestling fandom to Jess for years. In fact, I kind of kept it on the down low and watched it when she was at work. It became a lot harder when we lived together. And once we had lived together, and I still walked around in wrestling t-shirts and watched all the pay-per-views and did that. But it was like the longer we were together, the more she just started to kind of understand it and like it. Now she's a fan herself, not like I am, but she's been to pay-per-views, she's been to house shows, she always has a good time. She follows Finn Balor's abs on Instagram. She does all of that. So yeah, she loves it. I think it's just a case of if somebody loves you, they'll love your passions, even if they don't truly understand them. I don't understand some of her passions. I don't understand, for example, why some girls are passionate about taking an hour to get ready in the morning. But I accept it. I'm joking. That was a dig. She's going to kill me for that if she sees it. Nia was beating Bianca the moment Io lost to Lyra. Yeah. Although I kind of figured would one of them turn like Bianca Belair. So I don't know. Daniel saying, are you watching the FA Cup match tomorrow? Man City versus Man United. I won't be, mate, because I don't follow club football at all. I'll watch the Euros, but I couldn't give two craps about club football, if I'm being honest. It's just not my bag. Randy doesn't need the King of the Ring at all. Yeah, I agree. But are they going to do a babyface Cody versus Randy if they do that? Or is one of them, presumably one of them's turning? More than likely Randy, who flip-flops quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a long segment. How long is this segment?
It's been a very long segment. Yeah. But then we've gone into Randy Orton, so it's an interesting one. At least they've distinguished the fact that Logan has multiple pairs of knuckle dusters.
Yeah. So Misfit saying Gunther is not facing Priest or Drew at SummerSlam, and Gunther, if he wins, can't challenge Cody. Yeah, true. Again, surely Priest versus McIntyre is a shoo-in for Clash at the Castle. I haven't really looked regards again. Remember, Misfit, with the reportedly thing and the spoilers thing. They're two very important things that we must insist upon. Because just because it's been reported by a couple of outlets doesn't mean it's set in stone. WWE could change it, or one of them could get injured, or we just don't know. Until it comes from WWE, it's a rumor. That's and that this is a guy who's been a journalist for a very, very, very long time, telling you that. There's nothing I haven't done in this industry in terms of like academic achievements and experience, and same with Taylor over here, who's also an old head in this game as well, like me. Although we both look very youthful, don't we, Taylor?
Yes, we definitely do. Some more than others.
All right. I was actually about to say that myself, but yeah, I'm 37 this year. Where are you at? Where are you? I bet you're like a decade younger than me, aren't you?
Just over a decade.
Oh my god, I feel so old. You're my brother's age. I've got 3 of them, but yeah. Two of them are about a decade younger than me. One of them is actually 2 decades. He's literally 20 years younger than me.
Yeah, I'm 23, nearly 24, so not to make you feel old, but
Jesus, I feel ancient now.
Yeah.
See,
nice
Andy Spores was the youngest member of Gimme A Hull Yeah, but now I suppose it's you.
Well,
but well.
It's nice to see that they are teasing Nia Jax versus Bailey, if it's a possibility. Nia wins tomorrow.
I'm rooting. I don't care what Sean Ross says. I'm rooting for Lara Valkyria. I just am.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when the Saudi shows were not necessarily uncanon, but were glorified house shows? Do you remember those
glorified house shows with the Greatest Royal Rumble, the Kuwait Trophy, just silly little marketable things that they could put on? Now it actually means something.
And if there was a Mansoor match, it'd be a pretty good match, but like they'd make Mansoor look like Hogan slamming Andre, wouldn't they? In everything he ever did.
Mansoor's going to come back tomorrow.
Oh, I hope so.
Going to cost Cody his title.
Could you imagine? That would break the internet. That would. Oh my god, that would send. Because I'm one of them, but that would send the Cody crybabies into overdrive, and I think it was quite funny. Misfit, please be careful on the language and tone of your messages, please. Oh, okay. Dan has spoken, guys. Yeah, okay. Randy's going to turn heel before then. Oh, see, I don't want him to. I'm kind of liking the friendly, happy Randy. They flip Randy too often. Do you not think, Taylor, that like they brought him back as a baby face and they haven't let it breathe yet? Let it breathe. I think sometimes with WWE and AEW are bad for this as well. AEW are even worse for it, actually. It's like, look at Chris Jericho. Can you count the amount of times? I bet you've lost count the amount of times Jericho's turned on AEW. I know I have.
The one that I always go to is Big Show.
Oh, yeah. Big Show's parody. At this point, isn't it? And let's just get rid of that banner. I thought I already did that. There we go. Big Show is parody at this point, but I'm of the view that I'm just of the view that if a guy turns heel, if a good guy goes bad, it's more impactful when they've been a good guy for so long. And when it happens, give them a justified reason as well. Give like they've done with McIntyre, like they've kind of done with AJ Styles, Liv Morgan. Really make it interesting. And then if a villain sees the light, make it a great story. Like the one I always come back to was Samoa Joe, who was still a heel at the commentary booth. But when Rollins and AOP were threatening the commentators, even though he was a heel and the heel commentator, he stood up and was like, back off. where it's all your asses. His exact words. And obviously they attacked him and they beat him apart and they smashed him to the table. But Samoa Joe stood up for the little guy, and that was a really good face turn. And then there was another moment with Joe as well where with that silly storyline when Eric Rowan ran over Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan was like, "What have you done that for, you dick?" And then it was like, Samoa Joe was so disgusted by another heel going to those lengths. Yeah, he actually stood over Roman and protected him while help arrived, even though he was originally going after Roman to beat him up. So, yeah, that's how you make a compelling character. Give them a reason to turn face. Don't just make them run down the crowd and change their personality overnight. And Randy Orton, they've really yes, Randy Orton's a scorpion. He will attack you for no reason because he is Randy Orton. I'm not going to do the scorpion and the frog thing again. People are sick of it. But that's exactly that. That is Randy Orton's character, almost literally with the viper and snapping you in the grass kind of thing. So it suits his character, but there's a difference between Randy Orton just being that guy who RKO's commentators and RKO's his general manager to him actually being a heel. Stone Cold Steve Austin used to stun at everyone. Didn't matter who you were. If you're in the ring with him and his music played, sorry, you're getting a stunner. Good guy or bad guy, that's the game. Why are you still in the ring? You should have known better. Anyway, are you going to do it or shall I do it? Chelsea Green. There we are.
I'm so glad I didn't have to do that, and I'm so glad it was left to you.
I'm just going to go and blow my nose, Taylor. I'll let you vamp for a moment. I am sorry. I'm gross.
Yeah, I'm so glad Sam did not make me do that because I could only imagine how bad that would have sounded. I'm sure it would have made everybody tune out. But yeah, we've got Bayley in the ring with Chelsea Green coming down to the ring with Piper Niven. Looking forward to see what will happen in this match. Just enjoyed Chelsea Green's character. Sure, we'll see casual Chelsea Green malarkey. Sorry, I've got an itchy leg. But yeah, quite looking forward to this match. Hopefully, it's a good one. Seems as if it's going to get a little bit of time before the main event. Hopefully, I'm not missing another match. I'm going to check, but let's have a quick look. What else have we got? We've got I love it when the WWE website doesn't want to load for me. This is brilliant. But yeah, we've seen the Cody versus Logan segment. We've seen Bianca versus Nia Jax. We've seen the Austin Theory and Grayson Waller effects. So I don't think there's that much left. So they might be giving the main event a lot of time, which is interesting to see. Just quickly trying to find a way into the WWE website, which doesn't want to not work. Yeah, so after this, we've got Tama Tonga and Randy Orton, and that's it. So it's getting some time, Sam, if you can hear me. It's going to be quite an interesting time to see what's happening. A few comments that's saying Bayley's about to destroy Chelsea Green. Most likely, but I'm hoping we get the casual, silly Chelsea Green character. What else have we got? I can't wait to see Twitter tomorrow if Becky retains. Yeah. Personally, I like Becky as champion, but it's going to be surely full of crybabies, as some wrestling fans are, which is just appreciate the wrestling. Just appreciate it. Yeah. We've got literally, Sam, Chelsea versus Bayley. and then the only thing that's left is Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton. So it's getting some time. It's getting some time.
Yeah, I worry, you know. I worry there's going to be a big. I don't worry, actually. I think I'm open to it. I think you're right. I think it's going to get some time, but I also think we're going to get a maybe some bloodline shenanigans closing
That's
the
what
show.
Yeah.
You know, just I've been watching this a long time. I know how this works. Let's just go to the comments. I think this is where I left off.
Mm-hmm.
Chris is saying Lyra Valkyria is not winning. Chris, you can have my car if she doesn't. Like, you actually have to come and get it, and I'm not actually going to give it you if you do, but I've said it. Honestly, if this is his final run, just let him stay a babyface. See, I actually don't know if it is his final run. It's Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton's got many years left in him. You know what I mean? Bailey is about to destroy Chelsea Green next. I hope so. Misfit saying Randy is so one-dimensional as a face. He's so much better as a heel. See, I think like when Randy is a vicious heel, like that's been some of his best work, just undoubtedly. But I find him a little bit more interesting as a babyface because he's a babyface with an edge.
Yeah.
He's a babyface. He's never the. Even when he is the shucks, I'm happy to be here guy, he then goes and does things like attacks his general manager. So I think like he's the sort of babyface that you can never have in someone like Cody or someone like that. That's what Kevin Owens is so good as well, because even when Kevin Owens was at his most heelish, he was absolutely right in most of his feuds. He was sympathetic. He was correct half the time. And I remember thinking to myself so many times, why is Kevin Owens a heel when he's right? Just the way it is. I know what you mean. I know what you mean, though. Like, he's naturally suited to being a bad guy, but I also feel like there's a lot of love. It's like when they try booking Undertaker and Kane as heels in that Shawn Michaels Triple H feud. Nobody wants to boo them anymore. Like, what are they like? You could have Undertaker eat a puppy. No one's booing him. You know, it's just the way it is. And I don't know if Randy's at that stage yet, but there's still a lot of love and there's a lot of sympathy with them. I'd rather see Randy Orton just kill the bloodline every now and then, you know, and like, you know, you are the guys who put me on the shelf. I'm going to keep punishing you because I'm Randy Orton and I can do what I want.
Sam.
Yo.
Bailey's already beaten Chelsea Green and there's still 40 minutes left.
Well, I think we're going to get a good match for the main event, and here's Piper Niven to.
Yeah, Chris is saying there's still 2 segments left, so I'm intrigued to know what I've missed.
It's a go home show before a big stadium pay per view. I think, well, a big show pay per view. So I think they're gonna do some storyline stuff. Like it's like we said before, gone are the days where the Saudi Arabia shows are just big house shows. Mark and Misfit, not really following the conversation. No, let's take W. Doesn't fully believe in Liv Morgan. Maybe. I think this is more a conversation.
Right about how Becky retaining could completely change everything and how people are going to react to it. Which is, because there's rumors that Becky hasn't got too long left of a contract, isn't it?
I don't think she's going nowhere, mate. I don't think she's going anywhere.
If Seth's just re-signed.
Like, look, if this was a couple of years ago, well, and even then, she was a huge star. So I just look what's going on with Sasha Banks in AEW at the moment. Like, the spotlight is on her right now. I mean, Mercedes Moné, the spotlight is on her right now. I don't see that changing for a bit. Again, then they're already not using her right. As far as I'm concerned, they're not. But it's just my opinion. But what is she going to do? Is she going to go to AEW and maybe get misused for a bit? Like, some good matches, some fresh matches, be a star. But then just get lost in the shuffle. I don't know. She's re-signing. So you're going to say something? Looks like you're champing at the bit.
No, I forgot about the AJ Styles and Nick Aldis segment.
What do we know? Do we think there's some beef here, or
he wants one more chance?
Cody?
Whoever comes out on top at the Undisputed Championship, whoever wins.
Do you know what they should do? Logan versus AJ for the United States. Give me that.
But when do we get Logan versus LA Knight?
Yeah, because we thought we were getting that in Mania, didn't we? It's got to happen, but he's kind of tied up with Carmelo, isn't he? Right now. It's a good question.
Nick Aldis says, personally, I would say yes, but professionally, I can't give you what you want, and it has to be earned.
Kywan makes a good point. LA Knight either gets another shot or he's done with. It's. I don't know if it's that cut or dry, but it's. They're certainly wasting momentum, aren't they? Somewhat, which they seem to have done. Like they gave him that little push, and now it's fizzled out again. They should have given him a push in LA when everyone was hot for him, and because trust me, I was walking around the streets of LA, and all I could hear was yeah, wherever I went, and then it was the same again in London at Money in the Bank. It was just yeah, and I remember just thinking to myself, right, that's two massive cities now that I've been in, and this has happened. And why aren't they? Surely they can hear this. I remember being at NXT Takeover, Stand and Deliver, like the night before WrestleMania 39. No, so this very day, the same day, that morning, with Andy, and all we could hear was yeah, and I was like, boys, are you hearing this? You just do something like. And this was when there was still some question marks over. Would we be getting an LA Knight match? What about a Bobby Lashley match? What was happening with Bray Wyatt? There was still a lot of questions up in the air as to would we be getting one more match? You added, and then we didn't in the end. But yeah, wasted opportunity. What are you going to do?
Sam, I'd be intrigued to know what you think. Apparently, the AJ Styles segment ended with AJ telling Nick that he doesn't have that much time. Time in what?
I think with AJ, they're. I think it's a similar story to what. Like they might be doing a health angle. They might be doing. They've got to be careful because it might be in bad taste, particularly with Roman Reigns having legitimate, very real health concerns that he's battling with as we speak. But. Or it could just mean I'm in the twilight of my career. I'm running out of time to secure my legacy, which I would argue AJ secured that long ago. But in sports and in professional fighting and things like that, I know this isn't real, but that's a real thing. Like look at what happened with Tyson Fury the other day. Like what Tyson Fury should have done after that match is be like, you know what? I'm happy. This is the thing I've been waiting for, and it's finally happened. Now I can retire, knowing that my legacy is secure and my career, my last match, goes to helping somebody else become a legend, a status I've already attained. Now, like how wrestlers like to go out on the Shield and stuff like that. It's the same in boxing. But Tyson Fury hasn't done that. Instead, he's talked about rematches and things like that. My point is, it's a drug to them. It's a drug. They need the next hit. And I think that they did it with a really good storyline with John Cena a few WrestleManias ago when he up with The Undertaker with that. And The Undertaker, he himself has talked about that. There's a great documentary on Peacock and the WWE Network where The Undertaker basically keeps retiring and unretiring and like the mental toll it's because he keeps going away, coming back, not being happy with it, and then needing to correct it And sometimes he does, and sometimes he makes it worse, and it just leads to this snowball where his wife is saying to him, "For the love of God, are you in or are you out?" But yeah, I think that's what it is. It's a case of with AJ. I know I'm going on, but I think that's where we are with AJ. It's securing his legacy thing.
Yeah, I just hope that it doesn't mean that he's just going to go, yeah, I'm finished. I hope it is storyline based.
Yeah, and here's the thing: even if he is finished in WWE, I think AJ Styles might be tempted to do a Edge or a Bryan Danielson and just have a run in AW. Why
That's
the hell
my
not?
fear. Yeah.
See, I actually don't mind. I'm open to it because there's a lot of fresh matches he could have there. There's still a bunch in WWE I want to see. If I'm not going to lie, there's still a bunch. I'm not done with the AJ Finn Balor storyline. The first two Bullet Club leaders meeting, being involved in WWE. That's something that's tantalized me ever since they had that Survivor Series match that time. That was just amazing. And there's been so much they could have done after that they've not done. So there's so much I still want to see AJ do. But if and I don't think, like Marcus, just quickly catch these. I think AJ's getting ready for Jay. Someone like Jay. AJ's coming up to retirement. I think AJ should have gone to AEW years ago. It's like I'm not saying AEW is a better fit for AJ. What I'm saying is he might be this WWE guy and then just go, nah, I'm not going to run here. One last payday, couple of new stories, new matches, just a short run, and then I'm done. Which kind of what Edge is doing, what Bryan Danielson is doing. Fast forward 5 years, those two aren't still going to be wrestling. And AJ might be in that boat too. Misfit says, AJ said on multiple occasions he wants to retire with WWE. That's very, very true. But saying something and doing something are two very different things. And when that paycheck from Tony Khan is dangled in front of you with a very limited schedule, couple of big marquee matches, and pretty much everything you want as a very short run, are you going to say no? Like, is it a loyalty thing? I don't know. I can see him doing it, even if he just had a short run. Like, he might not too. I'm not saying he's definitely going to do this, by the way. I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised if he did. But again, there's still plenty for AJ to do in WWE, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, does he need to reunite with the Good Brothers? Probably not. Like you say, the story I want to see next from him would be the Finn Balor one. And I feel like if that is the case, then he does need to be traded to Raw. So maybe that's the trades that we've all heard of. Who knows? But it's going to be an interesting thing. Like Misfit says, he has said that he wants to retire with WWE. So, yeah.
Yeah, and also, there's also every possibility. Like again, TNA is not on the same level as AEW and then WWE, but it's still on a pretty good level compared to everything else out there. Not counting some of the big Japanese promotions, of course. But like in terms of the Western world, TNA is a very, very strong number 3. I'd count Ring of Honor, but that's under the AEW banner these days, isn't it? So, but like, and AJ owes a lot of his career to TNA, so it also wouldn't surprise me if he did some limited TNA appearances. And also, let's not forget TNA and WWE are doing a lot of business together these days. A lot of conversations and talks. A lot of there seems to be some mutual respect, and they're working together. So I'm of the view that the door is open there. The forbidden door, if you like, is open there. I don't know. I feel like now more than ever, WWE is more of an wrestling is more of an interconnected village than silos. AEW's done a really good job of making it feel that way. And I think in the Triple H era, WWE starting to feel a little bit more like that, which is nice. And TNA are always open to doing business and different creative ideas. One of the reasons I like them so much. But yeah, We'll see where he goes. None of us know, but it's as long as he does what's right for him and his health and his family, I suppose. Solo Sikoa looking. I don't know if that get up. I think he's better just looking mean rather than looking smart.
Yeah, it doesn't suit him, does it? I think the hair's a bit too short as well, which doesn't help things. But hey, he just said until Roman gets back, he's the man in charge. So maybe that's where that comes from.
I wonder but when is Roman coming back, and when that day does inevitably come, which it shall, how true is that going to be?
For all we know, Solo himself may not have even been spoken to Roman.
Well, I think that's what we're supposed to take away, isn't it? We're supposed to call bullshit on what Solo is saying. But the fun will be when Roman comes back and points at him and does the Carl Pilkington bullshit man thing. So what we got here, Tony Khan is looking to pay wrestlers millions. He might as well switch sides. I'm not necessarily saying AJ just does it for the money. I'm thinking, I've said this many times before. I think every single wrestler in the world alive right now owes it to themselves to see what the other side is like eventually. Now, right now, for someone like Becky Lynch to go to AEW would be a bloody stupid idea, but it might not be a stupid idea for someone like AJ to go in a year or so when he's kind of feels like he's done everything in WWE. Like Edge and Bryan Danielson have gone there just for one more run, just to see what it's like to collect one more payday. And they've ticked it off. Yeah, I wrestled there. I won a title there. I did this. I did that. It's just about that. Sometimes it's just about the creative freedom of doing it and the fun of it rather than money or any form of loyalty. I think a lot of wrestling fans struggle with the concept of loyalty. It's something they think because they have, wrestlers should have it. And a lot of people shouting words like traitor, Edge, when he went to AEW. And it's like, the same people Edge drinks in a bar when he was at WWE are the same people he drinks with when he's in AEW. You know, he's like, nothing changes. Like, trust me when I say the wrestlers are laughing at the people who think that. They're laughing at you because they don't feel that. Maybe the offices do, but they don't. Unless it's Seth Rollins when he had
I think Randy's just signed the most random thing a wrestler could ever sign. By the way, he's just signed a croc, which is definitely something.
Bad guys don't sign crocs.
But yeah.
I'm often reminded of a story a wrestler told me. A wrestler who works for TNA, and this isn't on camera anywhere, but there's a TNA wrestler who once told me a story, which is they were all drinking in a bar in one of the WrestleMania weekends, and it was a big, swanky hotel, and a massive coach pulled up, maybe 2 or 3, and a load of wrestlers got out, and they were WWE guys, and the WWE guys walked into this hotel where there was like the restaurant bar where all the TNA guys were sitting and having a drink, some having some food, a coffee. And when the WWE guys walked in, both sides just went, way, like that. And they all shook hands, hugged, hung out, had a drink. And my point is, that's the reality. That's how the wrestlers see each other. Like some wrestling fans, whichever you believe, they all gave each other side eye, or a few fights broke out. No, it's not like that at all. Most of them are already friends, or each other's godparents to each other's kids, or dating each other, or so, it just, believe me when I say wrestlers find wrestling tribalism more stupid than anybody else on the planet. They're the ones, because they're the ones it hurts as well.
They all appreciate the craft of wrestling, but just straight up.
Yeah, and the people who do it
Yeah.
as well. It's a really important point. So, right, let's do a banner and stuff before Daniel Hargreaves tells me off. Because he'll do it. Right, so Randy Orton, who apparently his voice is in his head. There's help out there, Randy. Oh, screwed that up there. So this is
the MFT. Any idea what MFT stands for?
Apparently it means my family tree, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, that's apparently what it means.
I wonder if it'll ever be like told, or it'll probably end up being printed on a T-shirt, and that's how we find out.
Well, I'm not going to lie, it took me forever to realise what EST meant. I swear to God, I was like, what the hell is she on about? I'm the EST. It was only when I heard her go, I'm the best S, the roughest, the toughest. I went, oh, that's what it means. That's crap. I spent years wondering what that meant. It shows how much I cared.
Exquisite strength training. What sense? No.
Yeah, I was just like, what the hell is she on about? I am the EST. Who even says that? What does that even mean? But then since then, I have heard other people say that in like a business sense and things. So I've been like, oh, okay, maybe you didn't make it up. Maybe it was just a thing people said. Right. So who wins? Randy Orton. Timmy T. Tiny Tim. Tamatonga. There we go. Boom. She's the EST. She certainly is.
It's the final semi-final.
I was just too much of a boomer to know what it meant. That's all. Well, technically, I'm a millennial. Technically, I'm not like Taylor, who's Gen Z over here. And yes, it is Gen Z. It's not Gen Z. It's Gen Z.
I won't argue.
On this side of the pond, it is.
Yeah. Gunther's in the same seat Lyra Valkyria was in.
He just looks like a bored fan. He's just no facial expression. Just hello, everyone.
It's like a child waiting for the parent to come back.
Yeah.
So like Ludwig's trying to get him a Coke or something, and he's just like,
and he forgot his phone, so he's just like looking around, like suffering from his cell phone addiction. Like, oh, what's this? Countdown to King Queen of the Ring tomorrow. See, I'm going to miss all this good stuff because I'm out because I've stupidly agreed to go out and have dinner with family.
Ibrahim Al-Hajj. I could have said that completely wrong, but there it is. Confirmation. Queen of the Ring, Lyra Valkyria versus Nia Jax.
Come on, Lyra. Come on, Lyra. Please don't make me listen. Although it does make sense for a heel to win, doesn't it? But are they really?
Does it though? Because if you're going to have Gunther winning, he's heel. Would two heels make sense?
I suppose. Yeah, I suppose not. Yeah, they had Xavier Woods win it, didn't they? And he did the gimmick for a few weeks. I think then got injured. Like, just imagine Nia Jax being Queen of the Ring, and she's going to be more insufferable than ever. And it ain't going to be heat; it's going to be away heat.
Yeah,
just take it from me. I'll be hitting that mute button fast as lightning.
Is that new? Women's Tag Team Championship on the line in the kickoff show?
Oh, I don't know. Was that just confirmed?
Seemingly so.
Misfit, where you at? Did you see that?
If anybody is going to lose, it will be Bianca because of the knee injury. But I'm hoping not.
Who turns on who here? Who like in that? Because we're all fantasy booking it before it's even been a tease.
It's gonna happen eventually, right?
Well, it's the money match, isn't it? I think. And
Yeah.
because see, I'm of the view Bianca Belair has been a big star and has done everything she needs to do, and now there's easily another decade on that girl's career. Loads
What
more
the hell
awesome
is
stuff.
happening?
Oh, Tama, what the hell was that?
Is that new? That has to be new, right?
He's Gollum, apparently.
Yeah, that was like, why am I only seeing Solo? And then he just...
I'm the precious. Don't forget the Randy's. Stupid fat hobbits.
Because that was, they shouldn't do that again, should they? Like, it was funny when it's good when Dexter Loomis does it, but I don't like, because now he's walking like a tough guy. I can't take you seriously, Tama, as a tough guy. When a minute ago you were like,
Stupid hobbits.
I just can't do it. And Solo Sikoa looks like Donald Trump. What is going on? He's turning yourself. He's turning yourself.
I can't take him seriously now.
I know. Come on, Randy. Just kill him in a minute. Put him out of his misery. Kick him into the fires of Mount Doom with the One Ring.
The match has got like 20 minutes. So
what's he doing now? It's GAHY. You see him last week going, Gurney.
That's another thing. I was like, what is going on?
I know, yeah.
Has he got voices inside his head that we don't know about?
He's been spending too much time with Randy, hasn't he? There are going to be so many memes tomorrow morning after this. There are going to be so many. I can see them now. There's another one. Oh, dear. Okay. Tammy, you're great. I love you. But bloody hell, don't do that again. I think we've killed off Kai and Webster with my Gollum impressions and stuff. I'm well practiced. I could do them all day. I love him. I love Gollum. He's the best.
Yeah, that guy in the black t-shirt who's been sat next to Lyra Valkyria and Gunther must be having a whale of a night.
I know he got a free ticket. Loving it.
Yeah. Just been sat there and you're getting wrestlers sat next to you, you'd be happy, wouldn't you?
I was going to say, that's like a $5,000 front row seat he's got there as well.
Yeah.
You know, like don't get me wrong, I love my job. I really, really do. You know, both aspects of it, the Deserto aspects of it, and then the wrestling, Gimme A Hull Yeah, and WrestleSphere. I love all aspects of my job. I really do. Wake up every morning and pinch myself. But that's the job. What that dude's got, just sitting in the front row of wrestling. Like green shirt guy, you know who he is, don't you? The guy who sits with the green shirt in every show. What does he do?
Will he be there tomorrow?
I don't. Has he ever been at a Saudi show? I think the rules are different for the Saudi shows, aren't they? With the super fans, did WWE give him a ticket? Do you reckon? Just to kind of help him with his record, his super fan. Because even if they did, what about the flights? What about the hotel stays? Either he's some kind of billionaire, or WWE helping him out. Because I used to think, is he a journalist? Is he like? But then now I'm a wrestling journalist. Okay, I'm not one of the top ones, or by any stretch of the imagination, and we've had some hospitality, but that's insane. Imagine going to like every pay-per-view.
Apparently, he is just a super fan who gets lucky. Maybe that's an article we could write on WrestleSphere. Who is Green Shirt Guy?
Well, to be fair, that article's been written a million times before, but they've never answered. You know, like you know, Green Shirt Guy is an institution these days, but it's never been. It's the funding of it that I'm curious about, not and perhaps a tad envious of as well. But it's just like, because sometimes I'll be watching it with my wife and she'll go, "There's that guy with a green shirt again," and I'm like, "Yeah, Jess, I've been watching the guy with the green shirt for 30 years. I don't even notice him anymore." There was Jesus as well, front row Jesus, we used to call him. The guy used to sit in the front row with the long hair and what appears to be his mother next to him. So I don't know what that's about, but yeah. Or he just likes an older woman. I don't know. Or maybe they're friends. I don't know. Maybe I'm generalizing and making a lot of statements. Okay, more football lads. So I don't mind these football ads, but some of the BT Sport Discovery Plus football ads are so obnoxious.
Mhm.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I can completely agree with that statement. Some of them are like over the top to the point where they're over the top annoying. But Marcus said, can confirm Jade and Bianca versus The Way tomorrow on Countdown to Queen of the Ring. Interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, good. So I'm glad they've added another match to the card because it was a little bit light.
But it's on the kickoff show.
That's all right. I don't mind that. I'm glad they should always utilize the kickoff show. It's a bloody 2-hour kickoff show.
Yeah, I'm glad they're utilizing it, but that's pay-per-view worthy, right? Or sorry, premium live event worthy.
Yeah, it's. Oh, I've got a little dog and a cat. Yeah, oh, I'm just gonna let the animals out. Doors open. Go on then, boys.
But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen in this main event because who actually knows?
So it's Gollum versus Randy Orton. So let's see how this one works out. Oh, hello. So Misfits saying for Fightful, one source expecting Julia to surpass Oscar if she. Oh, will you? Oh, like she's definitely going to be a top star. She's definitely going to. Let's hope the injury she sustained isn't too hardcore.
Predict it right now. I'm interrupting because I want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Which main roster star is coming back to face her in her random title reign that she's going to do? We've had Becky Lynch, we've had Natalya, we've had Dolph Ziggler of all people. Which main roster star is going to come back and put her over?
So Misfits saying Tegan Knox, but is Tegan Knox a big star yet? I'm not so sure. Mark agrees. I'm not sure. What's it? Jess, can I get a chamomile tea, please? Thank you. There we go. Awesome. I just heard the kettle's on. But yeah, I don't like. Yeah, that does make sense because But see, I don't know much about Julia because I don't watch Stardom. I've gone and tracked down certain matches in the past. But it's not really my cup of tea, I suppose, and I simply just don't have time to follow that amount of wrestling these days. I just don't. Well, yeah, I think she's going to have a good run. They're certainly building her up to be a big deal. See, I gave Misfit a ton of grief because I thought he was fanboying over Julia, but then I read some of the reports as well about their plans for her debut, and where I'm a bit annoyed that I had that spoiled for me. Still, it is now, providing she's recovered from that injury, it is now looking like she will do exactly what Misfit said she was going to do. So, yeah, Misfit, I thought you were fanboying, mate. That's what I thought it was. I thought it was Io Sky all over again. But here we are.
I'm waiting for like Rossi to come in and just take Kairi Sane and go, you fight.
Having Roxy work a stiffer style for Julia. Yeah, good. She needs to. I like a good stiff style. That could have gone wrong, couldn't it? That comment.
Yeah,
that's what I meant. It's like I like stiff wrestling. Jesus, I'm just going to stop saying the word stiff.
What do you mean by that?
I find it more entertaining. I wish it was a different word other than stiff. But blimey,
shoot wrestling.
Shoot wrestling. Well, technically it means something different, but I know what you mean. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a good word. I just need to stop saying the word stiff. I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
What are these two doing?
It looks as if they're just having a lot of neck holds and.
Do you think McMahon booked this match?
Sorry, but Solo, never cut your hair again.
Yeah, it looks like someone's ran over a skunk and put it on his head.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Randy. You can beat this guy. Oh, Clash at the Castle. Individual tickets on sale now. Okay. We'll have another look, perhaps.
Have you seen some of the ticket prices of those?
Yeah, I've been looking for weeks. Well, I looked at the AEW one and I thought, my God, like, I spend more in the pub.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so that's reasonable. Like, I don't know if they're going to fill the stadium again this time, but making the tickets nice and reasonably priced is exactly what you should do. But that's the thing with WWE; they've picked a tiny venue just because it's near a castle. So now they have to charge a ridiculous premium for the seats, and
Put it in
it's
the high
insane.
draw.
I mean, it's just insane that they've not sold it out yet. Clash at the Castle,
Yeah.
like it's just insane. Like Money in the Bank tickets were expensive, I was told, even though I was there. But it's not to that level. No, I'm joking. I looked. I knew what they were. So Kari and Io are rumored to work Marigold show in July. Rumored this guy. It's a match Utami really wants to have. Fair enough. Again, I don't know much about Japanese women's wrestling. If I'm being perfectly honest, dude, I know Stardom is a thing, and what's it called? That the new promotion Marigold is a thing, but it's I just don't have time to follow it. I don't have time to follow New Japan these days. I have to go and track down individual matches because New Japan do so many entertaining but just random tag matches with loads of people thrown in. I haven't got the time to dedicate to that. Like when it's a pay-per-view and it's for the IWGP or whatever, yeah, I'm game. And I used to enjoy the G1 a lot and all of that. But yeah, do some homework because Forbidden Door is coming up. Yeah, I don't think I will. I think I'll just be like, in truth, it'll just be a case of I'll be surprised. But this is going to sound a bit sacrilegious, but when Ring of Honor had that 4-way match, between the four, I think Stardom stars, thank you. I was very tempted to skip it because I had no investment. I didn't understand why it was on the card. Nothing against the wrestlers involved, but I've never seen them in Ring of Honor before. Like, where's my motivation to sit through a 20-minute match for 4 people that I've never heard of? All right, I'd heard of 1 or 2 of them, but not to the point where. So that's my issue. It's like I know there's a lot of love for it out there, but I don't know. I'm just not there yet.
We're about a 3 now.
Randy's done it while I was jabbering on.
I'm surprised that Solo didn't get more involved than he did.
Yeah, but now look. I'm game for Gunther versus Orton. Obviously, they can't turn Orton until they've done it. But if Orton wins, that's cool. I want Gunther to win because I feel like Gunther needs the win. Here we go.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Gunther with Ludwig yet.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin Owens is coming.
There's trouble in paradise, though, isn't there, with Gunther and Ludwig? They've been teasing it very subtly, but there's trouble in paradise. Yeah, go on, KO. What's going on here? Is this going to be? This can't be the moment Randy turns, is it? Kevin's just helping him out. See, I'd love to buy one of them RKO shirts, but I know this partnership is going to be incredibly short-lived.
It's a nice t-shirt.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, the 2 biggest scorpions in WWE.
Is Gunther going to come in and wipe Randy out, possibly?
Be interesting if he does. Or is Randy going to RKO Kev?
Oh, he's looking at him.
it would be a way of sending a message to Gunther, like, I'm not scared of anyone. Look, I'll hurt anyone. It would be interesting. Nah, they're not going to do it.
Or are we ending 5 minutes early? I guess we would do because of the commercial breaks in the US. I didn't think of that.
I think they just made good time. I think because bloody hell, God knows we sat through a lot of commercials tonight, or doing this. So that was there were some good matches, there were some good segments, but there's one thing that sticks out to me about that show, and it's the same thing that sticks out to me every time there's a show like that. That was a go home show.
Mm-hmm.
That's what go home shows look like. They just dial up the heat a little bit hotter, but they don't really do anything new. Do you know what I mean? That's why I'm not bothered about going to them. Like next time I'm at WrestleMania, I'm going to go to the Supercard of Honor. I'm not going to go to SmackDown or the Hall of Fame. I cannot sit through another Hall of Fame live. I can't do it. I don't care if Sting's already gone in. I don't care if the Undertaker's going in. I can't do it. It's too hard.
Bray
It's
Wyatt.
like, oh, okay.
Would that sway you?
Yeah, maybe. I can't believe I was swayed more for Bray than Taker there. What's going on?
Modern day
but yeah, that was the one that made me go. That was the one that made me go, ooh, though. So Undertaker's in. Oh, is Undertaker already in? This shows how much attention I pay, Mark. All right, Bray. Let's go with that one. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah. But my point is, go home shows. I just find them a bit pointless. Like that one was good. Like Rishab, is it back saying I love the show? Yeah, it was a good show. It was just like I think it's the best analogy I can use. Is the heat's already on a simmer.
Mm-hmm.
It just turns it up, which is all it needs to do. But for me, I like them to put the pan on a different hob. That's just me. I like that every week. That we got some more Uncle Howdy progression. That was nice. Looks like they've got to pull the trigger on that sooner rather than later. I don't want them to blow the entire load immediately. I think they should. I think if they give us some kind of significant tease tomorrow night that gets people talking more on TV about it, make it a proper storyline tomorrow. Do something to make it a story. More than just the commentators going, oh, yeah, don't you know we've got QR codes? You know, none of us have clicked on them. We don't know what they are. I know there are entire YouTube channels dedicated to them, but we've not clicked on them.
Check out Dom and Andy's summarizations.
Oh, yeah. And there's going to be another one tonight, I believe. So, but yeah. And I think Andy is on in half an hour. I don't know if I'm joining him yet, as of yet. If I am, cool. If I'm not, it's been fun. It's been emotional. You won't see me tomorrow night on the stream, guys, because I'm busy doing stuff. But yeah, enjoy King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. And don't forget, the night after that, we've got AEW Double or Nothing. The gods are good. The gods are good. So, yeah, this should be ace. Both cards are stacked, Taylor. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm quite excited for both cards. There's a lot of different matches that are going on. There's a lot of different matches which I'm quite excited for. Personally, quite excited for Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, me too.
That's definitely got my interest mostly from the Double or Nothing card. But yeah, a whole weekend of wrestling, and then you roll that on to Monday, and you got Raw. Then Tuesday you've got NXT. And then Wednesday you got Dynamite. Just
good in it.
Keep up.
Yeah, we're eating well, aren't we? We're all eating well at the moment. Mark says, Gangrel is to show up for that. Yeah, and in fact, Mark, that's given me a great idea. So Taylor, I'm going to thank you for joining me, guys. Andy will be with us quite soon again. I'm sure you'll be back soon, Taylor, as well. We won't keep you away for quite as long this time. I don't even know why we did. Just the way it is. But let's just quickly see. Yeah, Andy will be up soon, guys. Oh, there won't be anybody covering that I'm aware of Double or Nothing because Andy's on holiday. I'm in work the next morning, so it won't be me. our other crew aren't really big AEW guys. I think after Anthony, it's probably me. But yeah, we can still talk about it. And go to our Twitter and get your predictions in. Do what Dan says. Do that. I'm going to do it as well. Rishab says we'll wear Indian kurtas. Rishab, we had the Indian special, mate, a few months ago when you sent me that outfit, and I promised I'd wear it on stream, and I did. And I even ate your barfy on stream as well. It was delicious. I then gave some to my in-laws as well. I took it round for dinner and shared it with everybody. It was pretty cool. Our predictions are out. So, yeah, get them in. Go on our Twitter. Have a little look. Follow us all. Do that. And Rishab, he loved it. He smoked some spicy crisps as well. They were great. So, guys, I'm going to say thank you. I'm going to love you and leave you until next week. I won't be here next week for SmackDown because I'm on holiday next week. I know we're all slackers, aren't we? I know. But until then, let us have... Oh, look at that! Why do I get all this cool stuff? Dan does all this funky stuff as well. I
did it just for Dan. I saw him in the chat and I was like,
see that? Dad, he just put you to shame, mate. You're going to have to up the ante on Raw. Oh, my Lord. Look, you've got some shit on your head, mate. Right. Who are we going to have to play us out? I already know who it's going to be.
I wonder.
Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be?
It's Gangrel, the Vampire Warrior. Hello and welcome to Gimme A Hull Yeah podcast. I hope everyone in Yorkshire and beyond is having an awesome day. Keep fanging and banging.